Om Gyantimirandasya Gnanana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishnam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Svapadantikam Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Budhaya Prema Purabhur Nirmaya Kshatyadam Shupurusha Bhunkte Gunan Sudasa Sudasatmaka Evam Krishista Bhagavan Vacham Sime Hare Krishna. So today, with all of your blessings, we will try to read, and if there will be any questions, maybe say a few words on the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chapter 6, Prahlad instructs his demoniac schoolmates, text 14. So we're going to have translation, or what? No? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kuṭumba-poṣāya viyan nijāyur. Kuṭumba-poṣāya viyan nijāyur. Nabhutyatirtam vihatam pramatta. Nabhutyatirtam vihatam pramatha. Sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma. Sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma. Nirvidyate nasva kuṭumbaramha. Nirvidyate nasva kuṭumbaramha. Kuṭumba-poṣāya viyan nijāyur. Nabhutyatirtam vihatam pramatta. Sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma. Nirvidyate nasva kuṭumbaramha. Kuṭumba-poṣāya nijāyur. Nabhutyatirtam vihatam pramatta. Sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma. Nirvidyate nasva kuṭumbaramha. Kuṭumba-poṣāya viyan. Nabhutyatirtam vihatam pramatta. Sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma. Nirvidyate nasva kuṭumbaramha. Nijāyur. Nabhutyatirtam vihatam pramatta. Sarvatra tapatraya dukkhitatma. Nirvidyate nasva kuṭumbaramha. Synonyms. Everyone can understand my English, Russian English. It's okay. All right. Kuṭumba, of family members. Poṣāya, for the maintenance. Viyat, declining. nija-āyuḥ, his lifetime, not, buddhyate, understands, artham, the interest or purpose of life, vihatam, spoiled, pramattaha, being mad in material conditions, sarvatra, everywhere, tapatraya, by the threefold miserable conditions, adhyatmika, adhidaivika, and adhibhautika. Dukkita, being distressed, atma, himself, nirvidyate, becomes remorseful, not, swakuṭumba-poṣāya, enjoying simply for maintaining the members of the family. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One who is too attached cannot understand that he is wasting his valuable life for the maintenance of his family. He also fails to understand that the purpose of human life, a life suitable for realization of the absolute truth, is being imperceptibly spoiled. However, he is very cleverly attentive to seeing that not a single farthing is lost by mismanagement. Thus, although an attached person in material existence always suffers from threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of material existence. Purport. A foolish man does not understand the values of human life, nor does he understand how he is wasting his valuable life simply for the maintenance of his family members. He is expert in calculating the loss of pounds, shillings, and pence, but he is so foolish that he does not know how much money he is losing, even according to material considerations. Chanakya Pandit gives the example that a moment of life cannot be purchased in exchange for millions of dollars. A foolish person, however, wastes such a valuable life without knowing how much he is losing, even according to monetary calculations. Although a materialistic person is expert in calculating costs and doing business, he does not realize that he is misusing his costly life for want of knowledge. Even though such a materialistic person is always suffering threefold miseries, he is not intelligent enough to seize his materialistic way of life. So we have a little bit more than 10 minutes. If anyone has any questions, comments, suggestions, or complaints, you'll be very welcome. So we'll read the text one more time, and then we'll move to the discussion. Kuṭumba-poṣāya, viyan nijāyur, nabudhyate tham vihatam, pramatta sarvatra tapatraya dukhitātma nividyate nasva kuṭumba-poṣāya. One who is too attached cannot understand that he is wasting his valuable life for maintenance of his family. He also fails to understand that the purpose of human life, a life suitable for realization of the absolute truth, is being imperceptibly spoiled. However, he is very cleverly attentive to seeing that not a single farthing is lost by mismanagement. Thus, although an attached person in material existence always suffers the threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of material existence. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Comments? If there is none, we can finish there, because there is no time to discuss anything. We have time? Okay, let's see. If anyone's interested in anything Prabhupada says and Sri Prahlad Maharaj says, if you listen attentively, you should have plenty of questions. But if you're just sitting there, absent-minded, of course you will have no questions.
What is mentioned in this verse is the reality of the society today. And very people really understand the purpose of human form of life, what we have to do and what is our relation with the Lord. But at the same time, after we learn things, seeing the surroundings or the family members, etc., we learn certain things. What are the values that we imbibe from the society and the parents and friends, etc.? We somehow practice the same thing. So it may not be very appropriate to blame the person as such. Some persons maybe have that intelligence to inquire into self, otherwise not possible. What is the solution? How the general public can be brought to this consciousness?
What was the last sentence? Can you repeat? Last sentence?
I mean, what I want to say is, we have developed these practices. This is what is really happening in the society today. Yes. Very few people who are intelligent enough inquire into self. But how, in general public, how they can be educated, they can be brought to this.
How people can understand the importance of Krishna consciousness. Interesting point, which I'm very surprised no one asks about this point, that even though we are suffering, but still material desires remain intact. How many of you feel that it's true in your case also, that you suffer from material, trying to fulfill material desires, but still, desires remain? Very simple, because there is no higher taste. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. I'm sure most of us know very well this famous verse from the second chapter, 259. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasapyasya param drisva nivartate. And so I'm using the poetic translation by one Srila Prabhupada senior Vaishnava disciples, Kalakanta Brahma. So, some repress the senses, but desire still remains until there is a higher taste that leads them to refrain. So, without higher taste, there is no chance to give up lower taste. And that's why our mission is to give people higher taste. For example, we have 5 koshas, 5 levels of consciousness. We're familiar with Ananda-maya, Pranamaya, Manamaya, Vijnanamaya, Ananda-maya, right? You heard about this. So these are the levels of taste. And basic level, which is actually very common for animals and human beings, is food, Ananda-maya. So that's why prasadam is very attractive. So if you want people to have higher taste, give them prasad. Everyone will take prasad. But someone who is little more advanced, pranamaya, give them association of devotees. If someone is even more advanced, manamaya, give them responsibility in service. Engage them in service. If someone is even more advanced, then give them spiritual knowledge. right? And of course, Ananda-maya level of pure devotional service is very rare. We should strive for that ourselves. But the idea is very simple, that people will not be interested in Krishna consciousness unless you give them something which is better than they already have, according to their level. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, in the first two lines, Prabhupada is saying ki, being a foolish man, we do not understand the importance of the life. But after joining Krishna consciousness, we realize that. But till that time, Maharaj, in my case, I have wasted my 35 years. And I got KC, Krishna consciousness, after 35 years. So I need your advice, or can you guide us how to recover that 35 years which we have already lost in being a since we do not know ABCD of this Krishna consciousness philosophy or knowledge of devotion.
How to recover?
Yeah.
Lost years. Well, Prabhupada is very clear, you cannot recover, even if you pay millions of dollars or crores of rupees. But if we tried to develop Krishna consciousness, then it's a good investment of our time, because even though the results might be not as great as we were hoping, but Krishna is actually not interested in results, because Krishna is giving all results anyway. But what he is interested in is our efforts. And so if our efforts are 100%, then Krishna will be 100% satisfied. So my favorite motto, if I do my best, Krishna will do the rest. But if I will not do my best, why Krishna should do the rest? So that's the idea.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So we may do sadhana and then we understand the Prabhupada's purports, or hear Guru Maharaj lectures and we understand, we make points, everything. But the problem is at the time when we follow those instructions, so the purity of implementing those instructions, there we lack. We may understand the Prabhupada's purports, whatever in Srimad Bhagavatam, but the problem in my case is lacking is the purity of applying those instructions. We may have the competency to understand or to talk to other people, but to follow what we say, the purity of that, that's what, how to increase that purity in that case.
That's a good question. How to increase purity? Because we heard that purity is force, and it's very important that purity is not farce. It's not just apparent purity, but real purity. And purity comes from Krishna. And it's been recommended many times to focus on Krishna's lotus feet, Pada Padma. And of course, first two cantos are compared to Krishna's lotus feet. And one senior Vaishnava suggested that we can easily focus on Krishna's lotus feet. For example, if we focus our minds on the signs on Krishna's lotus feet. Just for curiosity's sake, how many of you know how many signs are on Krishna's lotus feet? Anyone knows? 19, very good. Next level question, how many signs on right and how many signs on left foot? That's a little more difficult. Anyone knows? 11 and 8, very good. Congratulations. And then what are the signs? Anyone remembers? Flag is there, yes. Swastika is there, conch is there. Any other? Umbrella is there. Elephant, goat, fish is there. Good. Lotus is there. Okay. So you know quite a bit, which is nice. Rope. It's not a rope, it's a line. It's a, you can say, destiny line, which goes on Krishna's right foot horizontally, right? So yeah, and this devotee actually elaborated. He said, all these signs, they carry very important meaning, which is the guideline for our meditation on Krishna and on our relationship with Krishna and on our service to Krishna. So these signs, that's my understanding, they are like a map to show us the way back home, back to Godhead. And interestingly enough, he suggests that we start meditation from the bottom of the left foot. And at the bottom of the left foot, on Krishna's heel, there is a sign of fish. Just this morning I was thinking about this, that fish, of course, fish has so many meanings. The sign of fish, Krishna came as fish, Matsya avatar, first avatar. And also Prabhupada was saying that in the same way as fish cannot live without water, we cannot live without Krishna consciousness. So fish is very important sign. And one interesting quality of fish, and we actually ran out of time, but if you're okay, we can finish at least with the fish. Yeah. 9:15, okay. So the interesting quality of fish that it is very curious animal. I have to confess, I did some fishing before I became devotee. And I know how curious fish is. I mean, there is plenty of food in the ocean. Why the fish would bite on the bait on the hook? Unnecessary. But, it's like we are curious, this is something imported. Something imported must be very nice, right? So fish is also thinking, this is import product, which is coming from somewhere, from the top, God's gift. Then the fish is biting and hooked up. And honestly, there are some fishes who do not even require to put a bait. Empty hook, they try to swallow. Where is the brain? Why do you bite empty hook? But they do. And this is how they caught. And sometimes the fishermen, they're using the trick, they put lamp, like torchlight, into the water, and then the fishes come. And then they have their net and catch all these fish. So the fish is thinking, wow, enlightenment came. Let me see what's happening. Why there is light in the water? So fishes are very, very curious. I was in Fiji Island and we went to one very, nice holiday resort with devotees to have retreat there. And nature is amazing there, so lush and so green. And we went to one very nice lake with waterfall, and the lake's water is so crystal clear, and I borrowed from one devotee a mask with, what do you call it, snorkel or something, whatever, with the device to breathe, because I like to dive in. So I decided to dive to the very bottom of the lake, see what's happening there. And when I was looking what's there on the bottom of the lake, so many fishes came and they started looking at me. They were thinking, who is this big fish? Came into our lake, we haven't seen this fish before. So fishes are very curious. And curiosity can serve different purposes. We know English proverb, curiosity killed the cat. So curiosity can kill, but curiosity can also heal. Curiosity can benefit. If it is curiosity towards material subject matters, and this devotee, he says not only on Krishna's feet we have to meditate, but we have to meditate on Sri Radha's feet also. And Sri Radha also has 19 signs on her feet. And many signs are mirrored from Krishna's signs. They have many, a lot of common signs, but some signs are unique. Some signs only Krishna has, and some signs only Radha has. But the fish sign is common. But the difference is that Krishna has fish sign on the bottom of his left foot, and Radha has fish sign on the bottom of her right foot. So it's like mirror. And he explains how the first canto is 19 chapters of the first canto are reflecting the 19 signs of Krishna's foot, and 19 signs on Radharani's foot. That is the sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because, interesting, Bhagavatam has 12 cantos. Sixth canto is in the middle. So it's actually the heart of Bhagavatam. In the same way as Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters, chapter 9 is in the middle, so that's the heart of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita's most confidential knowledge, right? And actually Bhagavatam is nothing but illustrated version of Bhagavad Gita. So whatever Bhagavad Gita explains, Bhagavatam illustrates with stories. And so, there are so many illustrations in the sixth canto, what the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita explains, like Apichet Suduracharo Bhajate Mamananya Bhav. You get Ajamila's story to illustrate that, right? And etc. Many, many things in the sixth canto are there. And so, but the first chapter of the sixth canto is Ajamila's story. This is how curiosity destroyed this innocent Brahmana. He fell down due to bad association, became curious in the wrong way. But if curiosity is applied properly, that's the first chapter of the first canto, and I'm sure many of you remember what's the first 1:1 Bhagavatam. What is the title of this chapter? Questions by the sages. So they directed their curiosity in the right way. And so that's why I'm saying, and actually it's not me saying, it's Srila Prabhupada saying, that if there are questions, this is the sign that people are advancing spiritually. No questions means finished. No advancement. Nothing moves, right? And I come from Russia, and many of you know that the second country following Bharat in terms of growth in ISKCON is Russia. Somehow, one devotee was even asking if I have Russian Bhagavad Gitas, because someone was asking, obviously Russian-speaking people wanted Bhagavad Gitas, even in here. And so, and there could be many, many theories why it is growing, why Russians are rushing in ISKCON. But one outstanding quality I've noticed in Russian devotees, that, you tell them we can have questions and answers. Questions will never stop. There will be so many questions. The only way to stop, you can tell them, okay, we ran out of time, finished. We can continue some other time. Otherwise, unlimited questions. Very curious people. So they direct their curiosity towards Krishna consciousness. They actually are interested in Krishna consciousness, and this is how it grows, because they are interested, enthusiastic, so they are enthusing other people also. Because if you are enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness and happy, then naturally other people will want to know, you're so happy, so I also want to be happy. What are you doing? Chanting Hare Krishna, let me try also. Reading Bhagavatam, let me try. Taking prasad, let me try. But if you're bored with Krishna, how can you attract other people? Of course, in Bharat it's easy, because there is a national aspect to that, right? Because it's Indian philosophy, it's Indian culture, it's national pride of the country, right? And there are so many Vaishnavas, etc. So, it's easy, quite easy to inspire people in here, but in Russia there are no Hindus, there are no Indians, so how people become interested in that? Because they want to understand something which they never knew before, which they never heard before. And so, curiosity, asking ourselves this very important question, that if other people are successful in this and that in Krishna consciousness, can't I achieve the same thing? Why not? If other people do that, why can't I do that? And then next one, above the fish on Krishna's left foot is half moon sign. And of course, moon means so many things. But most important thing, moon of course is giving light. So enlightenment is very important. But also nourishment. As you know from Bhagavad Gita, moonlight is giving nourishment to all the vegetation. So moon is nourishing light, not just empty light, but nourishing light, giving, nourishment. And so, there is no doubt that all of us have enthusiasm for prasadam, because prasadam gives nourishment, right? So in the same way, we have to find what is it that makes me enthused in Krishna consciousness, right? Etc. And then you move on, and there is a triangle sign above the half moon, and the triangle sign, of course, Krishna is known as Trayadisha, the Lord of all the triads, I think we call it, right? Anything within the three category. So 3 modes of nature, 3 phases of time, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, you name it, 3 types of Vishnus, etc. So there are so many things in the category of 3, but in terms of our spiritual advancement, because this is what it means to become pure, it means to figure out how can we successfully advance in Krishna consciousness. There are 3 things also. Satchitananda. Satchitananda, these are spiritual qualities, Shuddha Sattva, but you can start with Sattva Gun, because Sattva Gun is the foundation for Shuddha Sattva. And it translates into Sattva Gun. Sat translates into steadfastness, something which you can do forever, right? And Chit means expertise, because theoretical knowledge is useless without application, right? So Chit means expertise, and if you do something for a long time, probably you know this theory of 10,000 hours, right? If you invest 10,000 hours in any activity, you will become expert in it. And Ananda, of course, is bliss, happiness. So, if you're excited by what you are doing, and if you do it for a very long time, you can do it so well that you will be happy and others will be happy as well. And so actually it is connected to very important statement from Bhagavad Gita 3:35, 1847, Shriyan Swadharma Vigunat Paratsa, Shriyan Swadharma Vigunat Para Dharma Svanushtitat, right? That it's better to do your duty perfectly than others' duty imperfectly, acting according to our nature. 1847 says, if we act according to our nature, we will never incur sin. And sins are things which are dampening our enthusiasm and preventing us from moving forward. So we have to figure out what's my nature and how to engage it in Krishna's service. So these are 3 steps, and you can figure out the rest if you want. But that's one way. There are many, many ways how to figure it out. But Krishna's signs on Krishna's foot are giving us all the keys necessary for our success in Krishna consciousness. All right, Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, nijāyur premanande, Hare Hare Bol. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, nijāyur premanande.
हरे कृष्णा। तो आज शाम का गीतामृत कार्यक्रम भी महाराज जी के द्वारा दिया जाने वाला है, और ऐसे ही सुबह भागवतम की कक्षा और कल और परसों भी सुबह होगी। तो आप सब सुबह ठीक 8:20 को आ सकते हैं। हरे कृष्णा।